Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Oh, that will continue. Sorry about that. I guess I hit the button to unmute my mic and it didn't unmute it. So sometimes that happens. But welcome everyone to our Tuesday live stream. Thank you, Caleb, for that heads up over on our Facebook chat. If you have any questions about our weather, head over there. Head over to our Facebook channel, our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. There you can get some questions in. I'll try to answer them. I do apologize if I miss your question, but like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about some rain chances tonight and then that snow chance as we head into the weekend and maybe some warmer temperatures as well. But like I said, downtown Saginaw got some cloud cover starting to roll in. If you were there outside this morning, you had some sunshine. That was a nice change after we've continued to see overcast skies here over the last couple of days. But that cloud cover should continue to increase. That's all ahead of a low pressure system that is moving through the central portions of the country that's going to bring us that rain chance tonight. Looking at some other locations across the state, downtown Flint, very similar conditions there. Just that cloud cover really starting to increase. And then we move down to downtown Detroit. It shows a very similar image off in the distance, but right now Detroit definitely seeing some more sunshine. But you can see this is looking to the north where that cloud cover is starting to increase here for our Thursday afternoon. And like I mentioned, we'll continue to increase here over the next couple of hours before we do get that rain chance. Now, looking at Sky Tracker shows that cloud cover moving itself in from the sort of west-southwest. It does look like our sort of heaviest cloud cover is out towards 127, Mount Pleasant, south to Lansing, but we are staying dry right now. That won't be the case, and that's because, again, we have this low pressure system that is right now moving through sort of eastern Kansas into Missouri. Will start to move to the northeast across Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and this will eventually bring this sort of tail of rain in as we get through 6 p.m. That will reach from the west to the east. Luckily, most of the energy with this is going to be gone. If you've been paying attention, maybe you are someone that likes to look around the country in terms of weather, you've probably caught a few tornado warnings in Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas. That's not going to get to us. Luckily, we'll just not have the energy there. We will have a few rumbles of thunder possible, but don't expect severe weather with this as it continues to move to the northeast. And cloud cover, again, continues to increase. But if you're looking for some sunshine, I'd stay outdoors through about 3 to 4 p.m. By about 5 p.m., though, that's where we see overcast skies. And then 7 to 8 p.m., starting to see that rain chance really set itself up and really be a sight through a majority of our Thursday night into our Friday morning and should be moved out by about midday Friday. Temperatures right now across mid-Michigan have started to rise. It's from the mid-30s all the way into the lower 50s. We do have some areas warming up pretty nicely here for a Thursday afternoon in January. 52 in Saginaw, 51 in Flint, Owasso, Bay City. You have Midland and Mount Pleasant both at 50. It is a little cooler up there to the north and out to the east. You have Port Sanilac at 41. Harbor Beach at 37, Port Hope at 45, and then again north of the bay, Standish at 41, West Branch at 44, and then Holton Lake getting up to 42. You may warm up a few more degrees over the next couple of hours, but most areas have reached their high temperature for the day, at least for the afternoon. There will be some warmer air that pushes in late tonight. We'll get to that here in just a second. Sustained winds, though, have continued to be mostly out of the south, southeast, mostly the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. You may get a few wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour. But for the most part, this is what we see for tonight, or I mean for right now. As we get into tonight, winds do look to increase. We do have a breezy day anticipated for Friday. Now, we'll first alert you to that strong wind, but also we'll continue to first alert you to that rain chance tonight. Rain totals, pretty wide range right now. We'll see how things sort of set up here over the next couple of hours, but we do anticipate about 1/4 of an inch to an inch of rain, again, starting as early as 7 p.m., and there will be a few rumbles of thunder possible with this round of rain. So don't be surprised you start laying in bed tonight and you do get those rumbles of thunder. But I do have to take a quick break right now. Once I come back from that break, we are going to take a look at that rain chance for tonight, the chances of a snow this weekend, and some stronger wind sort of in our future. So make sure you stay right here. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here for the second half of our Thursday afternoon First Alert Weather live stream. We're going to start off looking at our temperatures and how they're going to evolve here over the next 24 to 48 hours, that rain chance, and maybe even a snow chance for the weekend. So starting off, lows for tonight. Actually decently nice for people who are getting sick of winter. It's upper 30s and lower 40s, but even a few areas in the mid 40s. And tonight's one of those weird setups, and we're going to carry that over into tomorrow morning because we are actually going to start to warm up late tonight into tomorrow morning. So our lows for tonight may set up by 10 p.m. and really don't last long because we have that warmer air moving in ahead of that low pressure system. So we can see here on our future temps, this is 11 p.m. Still upper 30s, but upper 40s down to the south. And then by about midnight, we start to see the push of that warmer air. 2, 3, 4 a.m., temperatures being in the mid 50s. So like I mentioned, this is sort of one of those weird setups where we have warm air at night. Our highs for tomorrow are going to be very early in the morning. So when we get to our 7-day forecast here in just a little bit, you're going to notice our high for Friday is in the 50s, but that's going to be early in the morning, 4, 5, 6 a.m. as we're getting that rain chance. And we'll notice here as we get to our future temperatures beyond mid-morning, that's where colder air starts to filter in behind that low pressure system, behind the front, and gives us temperatures back into the 30s by mid to early afternoon. So this is 1 p.m. tomorrow. Our temperatures, upper 30s across mid-Michigan. So it's not like our typical day where we see our highs 3, 4 p.m. Our highs are going to be set up at 3 to 4 a.m. as we get through tonight. And then we continue to cool off. We're into the lower 30s by 6 p.m. and then staying in the lower 30s and upper 20s through Saturday morning. So that is why as we get into Saturday and that low pressure system moves out and another low pressure system moves in, we're actually going to have any rain that's left over transition into snow and see snow as we get through a majority of Saturday. Yes, a few areas do want to get above freezing, so that's where you could see maybe a few raindrops, especially down towards our southern counties, Shiawassee, Genesee, and Lapeer. But for the rest of mid-Michigan, it should be just mostly snow as we get on through Saturday. Now, I did mention wind is going to start to increase, and that is going to be something we see here through the remainder of our afternoon as that low pressure system does start to get a little bit closer as we get some influence in the atmosphere. This is 5 p.m. this afternoon. Winds at 25 or 15 to 30 miles per hour, a little bit stronger to the south, continuing to increase beyond sunset. This is 7 p.m. Winds now possibly 15 to 35 miles per hour, and then increases even more as we get past midnight. And again, like I mentioned, that is just as that low pressure system starts to get closer and closer to mid-Michigan. It starts to increase our wind. This is at 11 p.m. Wind gust at, I'm going to say 20 to 40 miles per hour. Definitely could peak a little bit higher than that. I wouldn't count out a few areas getting up to 45 to 50 as we get past midnight into 1 a.m. and then staying breezy as we wake up tomorrow morning. So this is 5 a.m. wind gusts from the south-southwest at 25 to 35 miles per hour. So as you're heading off to work, you're heading off to school tomorrow, just be prepared for those stronger wind gusts to set up and stay pretty breezy throughout much of our Friday. It'll be late Friday evening that wind starts to calm down and should stay mostly calm for Saturday, even with that second low pressure system moving in. It's a little bit farther north, a little bit weaker. Yes, it brings us precipitation, doesn't bring us the stronger wind, but it doesn't last long. Sunday looks to be another breezy day. Right now showing wind gusts from the north-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Now we get to our hour by hour. This is going to show off that rain chance, arriving again as early as 6 p.m., but really starting to show itself by 7 to 8 p.m. I think that's where the Tri-Cities could start to see your first rain chance. I think Flint will be included into that. If you live along 127, Clare, Mount Pleasant, Alma, those will be areas that this is where you start to see maybe more heavy rainfall. This is where you could hear a few rumbles of thunder. This won't be the most, how do I want to word this? You will have times tonight where you start to see lighter rain, or maybe it doesn't rain at all, but it's going to come in waves at times and maybe a little bit more consistent and heavy overnight. We're talking about beyond 10 p.m. through about 2 a.m. We see that here in our hour by hour, this sort of darker reds and yellows moving into that 127 corridor. And then the Tri-Cities by midnight. That's where, if you're someone that likes rumbles of thunder, maybe some heavy rainfall, you're going to get that best chance. Even Bad Axe is included in that as this system maybe starts to widen out just a little bit. But like I mentioned before, we don't anticipate any severe weather with this, just maybe some gusty conditions, that heavy rainfall as we get through the night. But by the time we get to mid-morning, it does look like most of that rain chance should be out. We may get some redevelopment just as that low pressure system continues to show itself to our north. But for the most part, by the Friday afternoon, we should be dry, and I'm not going to count out some sunshine starting to shine through the cloud cover by the end of the day Friday, just before sunset. Then we get through Friday night, we're dry. Saturday morning, we're still dry, but you're starting to notice overcast skies setting up. And then by about midday Saturday, that's where we start to see that second low pressure system show itself. This is a little bit weaker, but it's just to our north. It's going to sort of sweep across the region, and it's going to bring us that snow chance, maybe consistent at time, especially early Saturday afternoon. So I see we did get asked, is there going to be rain in Flint Saturday or snow? It's definitely looking to be mostly snow. I can't count out, though, if it moves in a little bit earlier, if you could maybe see a few raindrops. But I think it's going to be mostly snow. It's not going to be the heaviest. We'll see right here in just a few minutes that it's not the most, again, we had this a couple weekends ago, it's not the largest amount of snow, but it's just enough. You could get snow-covered roads if we can get the right banding within that system. But for the most part, it does look to be pretty scattered and moving in and out throughout the day Saturday, and even Sunday could hold a few isolated snow showers just as that system creates some wraparound and maybe some lake effect development as we get through Sunday morning. So just be prepared for that if you do have weekend plans, if you do get stuck under a heavy band of development of snowfall. Obviously reduced visibility has always become a factor, and then just seeing those snow and snow-covered roads that could be slick as you get out and about. Like I mentioned, the Storm Prediction Center is highlighting as well that non-severe thunderstorm threat. There's just a little bit of energy there that you could hear, again, a few rumbles of thunder, maybe a few breezy periods as we get through tonight, but we don't anticipate any severe weather. That's going to be to our southwest, towards Indiana, towards Illinois. So if you have family members there, sort of that early season severe weather threat. Actually, we had our first tornado watch issued in the country for 2026. That was down near Oklahoma, Arkansas, even I think Kansas might have been included in that. But we're not going to get that chance. Looks like just some non-severe thunderstorms, a few rumbles of thunder as we get through tonight. Now, in terms of rain for tonight into tomorrow morning, again, we're continuing to show about 1/4 of an inch to an inch. I think our more consistent amounts continue to show up from areas like Mount Pleasant and Alma all the way through the Tri-Cities, and then I think into the Thumb. Bad Axe, Port Hope, Port Austin, Caseville, Tuscola County could be areas that you could see that sort of 1/2 inch to an inch. So obviously something that's going to help melt any of that remaining snow that some of these areas may have. And then we talk about snow into the weekend. I think it's going to be about 1 inch to 2 inches, and even that might be a little bit high. We'll see how things develop. We'll have a better idea, I think, through the rest of today, how this weekend looks to set up. But like I mentioned before, it's not the largest amount of snow. It shouldn't be the heaviest snowfall rates, but it's just enough that throughout the day, Saturday, we could see about another inch of accumulation, with a few areas trying to sort of jump up to about 2 inches. So just be prepared for that if you do have those weekend plans. It's nothing that's going to go ruin your day, but maybe give you some more snow on the ground if you're someone that enjoys winter conditions on our grass. But I don't see any questions in our Facebook chat. I'm going to end the stream after we go over this 7-day forecast. It is 40s and 50s today, getting more 50s tomorrow. But as a reminder, that is earlier in the day. By the afternoon, we're back into the 30s. We'll hold on to those 30s for Saturday and Sunday with that snow chance throughout Saturday. Does linger into Sunday. I think that may be more of a morning snow chance, but otherwise we should be dry for most of Monday, starting to see some more snow and rain chances, very light but still there for Tuesday into Wednesday. And after this morning of 50s for Friday, it's definitely trending more upper 20s to the mid 30s as we get through the weekend into Monday. So sort of really where we've been sitting here over the last couple of weeks. Nothing too far extreme when it comes to our cold temperatures, but nothing too warm like what we're going to see tonight, just sort of getting us back into that winter routine as we get through the weekend into next week. But I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, head over to our website at WNEM.com. There you can go to our weather tab. We can always catch updates from the First Alert Weather Team. You can obviously head over to the sports or news tabs there for all the latest in those categories. And you also can scan this QR code right down below me that will download our First Alert Weather app on your mobile device. There you can catch live radar. You can get more updates from the First Alert Weather Team, especially as we get rain chances moving in tonight. It also will send you updates when we have any of our First Alert Weather live streams later this afternoon/evening. Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will have his evening First Alert Weather live stream with the latest on rain chances. Obviously, that rain chance should be moving in or developing as he starts that live stream later in the day, so you can catch more updates, especially if we start to see some heavy rainfall. He'll have the latest there. But hopefully everyone has a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Enjoy the rest of our dry afternoon before that rain chance moves in, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.